Good morning. Today we want to talk about tannins in a pond. We built this pond back in 2023 and everything's been going great. The pond's been functioning great for a couple years. And this spring they called and they said, Ryan, we've been dealing with tannin problems, brown water. It looks like a tea-colored water. We want to talk about what to do about that today. And first what I want to talk about is they've used what's called an ionizer. This is an Aquascape IonGen, and this releases copper and zinc ions into the water and helps control algae blooms and helps maintain string algae. But when treating tannins, this is going to actually cancel out, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a product called activated charcoal or activated carbon. And this is kind of a mix between the two. It's a product, a carbon charcoal product. And so we're going to be putting this into the water, but if you have an ionizer, you're going to want to power that off, because this is going to kind of cancel that out and absorb the copper that is being released into the water. So I've went over and I've unplugged the ionizer so there's no power to this, and I've actually pulled the prong out of the water so there's no copper or zinc being released. So we're going to take these bags of activated carbon and we're going to set them, you want to put them in the place of a pond where all of the water is being drawn in. So our pumps are right down here in this vault, and so we're going to take, we've put some wire on here so you can move them around, but we're just going to kind of put them right in here. We're going to set them right in the spot where the water is going to pass by, and then the other pack we're just going to sit right over here. So we're right kind of around this pumping system. So as that water's drawn in, that's going to pass through this carbon and it's going to help treat on these tannins. Now what's going to happen here is this brown water is going to start to clear up, and since we've turned our ionizer off, the concern is, what about algae? So what we're going to do is we're going to put aerators back into the pond to help bring more oxygen into the pond. The breakdown of all this organic material is going to absorb a lot of the dissolved oxygen that we want to put back into the pond. So we're going to place aerators back into the pond. And then another thing we want to do is, see this driftwood that's sitting in the pond? This could be a culprit of what's creating the tannins. So it can be caused by falling leaves from like oak leaves. Driftwood like this can be a culprit too. So something like this is going to want to be removed. And we'll walk over this way and we'll show you kind of what the water's looking like. It kind of looks like iced tea or like a brown tea. We have cedar mulch here, and when water touches that, what we want to do is start to move some of this mulch back away from the edge of the pond. So when it rains or you have drip irrigation or irrigation, you're not running this water through this cedar mulch. The fungus and the bacteria that is released by this going into the water could be a culprit of the tannins as well. Another item here that you may want to consider when treating tannins in your pond is features like a piece of driftwood. I know we spoke about the vertical log over there, but this is such a beautiful piece here, and you hate to have to remove things like this, but when you're treating tannins in your pond, any log or any driftwood piece that you have touching water, you want to consider removing that item out of the pond or out of the stream area while you're treating for tannins, because these organics that are coming off and seeping into the pond could be a culprit of the tannins as well. We're going to just let this go for about a week and see how things go after we add the aerators. We put the carbon in the water and we move the mulch back, and we're also going to want to dose good with beneficial bacteria, make sure that we've got plenty of bacteria in the water, and we're going to come back here and see if things start to clear up a little bit, and we'll let you know how it goes. Hey, Ryan with Platinum Ponds. Wanted to come back. We were here a couple weeks ago after we had taken some measures to treat the tannins in the pond, and we added some activated carbon right here in the intake bay. and we added some aerators to help with all the dissolved oxygen that would be occurring here to give the pond some more oxygen. And we have no algae, and the tannins have really subsided. As you can see here, we can see right to the bottom of the pond. Here come the fish, they're looking fabulous, and things have really cleared up here. I'm very happy with the results. And so what we had done is we had put these bags of activated carbon right in the intake bay. So right under this flat stone here is the pumping system here in the intake bay, and so we put those bags of carbon right in front of that, so everything has to pass right through there. And the results have been pretty darn good. And so we just wanted to come back and give a update on what we had found here. So the pond is looking fabulous. The waterfalls look great. Everything is really good looking here. So just wanted to follow up and let you know what we got here.